think Kalen Black looked today, his first practice back?
I thought he looked good from what I saw. You know, it was his first practice back, which is always tough going against another team on your first day back, but he looked healthy, had some juice today, and hopefully he looks the same on tape.
He's going to play on Thursday?
Most likely. Yeah, I haven't told the guys yet. We'll tell them here this afternoon. So, but yeah, he played today, so I expect him to go.
Do you have an early diagnosis of Mike Evans?
No, they just said he has some tightness, so we were just being smart taking him out. I don't think it's anything worse, so we'll see when we get in there, but nothing that I'm worried about right now.
Stribling had a couple good catches in the red zone there from Mack and Brock. Just how did he respond today in his action here?
I mean, those were two good plays. I think he had a couple rough ones too, so I'll hold my opinion until I really see the tape, but he's competing every day and getting better.
When you're coaching him up on film, Kyle, what's his reaction as you're pointing out whatever flaws he has?
I love how he handles himself. He stays humble. He takes coaching really well. Never seems to take anything personally. He's been a real fun guy to coach so far.
When you say you had a couple rough ones, you mean mental errors? Or?
Oh, no, I just mean not everything was perfect, like those 2 touchdowns, but that's my answer for everybody.
Kyle, there was a lot of skirmishes in the Titans practice, none today. Did you guys say anything different, or what do you attribute it to?
No, their head coach had more discipline than Tennessee's. No, I'm just joking. I a few things started early in the Tennessee practice, which when that happens, then everything just gets escalated throughout the rest of the day. I wasn't on both sides, but nothing happened early, and usually when nothing happens early, nothing happens late.
You guys have had some concussions among the linemen this year. Is that a surprise, just given that they're wearing the Guardian caps?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think it just shows you those only do so much. My favorite thing about those is quarterbacks don't break their hands as much on the top of them. But, I mean, regardless of what you're wearing, if you get hit the right way, it's not enough. I know it does help. But, yeah, having those 2-in-1 practice a few days ago was unusual, and hopefully we'll have better luck with that going forward. Yeah, not all of them, but I expect a number of starters to play, unlike last week. So I haven't told them yet, but they'll find out soon. But yeah, you guys will see a number out there.
Including Brock?
Haven't told him yet, but there's a good chance.
Kyle, yesterday, Pro Football Talk said, speculated that Christian is out of practice due to contract issues. What's your comment on that?
I mean, people make a lot of assumptions, and that would be one that they're wrong on.
Is there a timeline for him to come back? When do you think he might be able to practice again?
I think if it wasn't Christian and we were in a game week, I think he would play today.
Is it related to the calf or Achilles?
No, just some tightness. He'll get sensitive, I say, where. So.
How about Bosa? We saw him doing some stuff on the side. Is he making progress?
Yeah, he's making a lot of progress. And he's a lot less irritation, soreness, and tendonitis, whatever you want to call it, than he had last week. So we think he's going the right direction, and we see him similar to Christian.
George said that he expects to be practicing sooner than later, is what he'll tell us. Where is he right now, and how soon can we expect to see him?
I mean, I kind of listen to George the same way you guys do. George isn't a big put a date on it, and I'm not going to be that dude either. But I think you guys can tell how he's talking, how he looks, that I agree. I think it's sooner than later.
He told us to ask you. So.
Did he? All right. Well, I'll ask the trainer.
Along those lines, what about Michael? Any further idea when?
Yeah, I mean, he's further along. I mean, he's further away than those other guys you guys just asked about, but we do think he's close. I mean, I do think week 1 would be a long shot, but we haven't ruled it out yet. But he's progressing very well.
Christian Kirk has been out since that first practice. How is he doing?
That's been unfortunate for him because he had the same thing in OTAs, so he missed that, and he hasn't been ready to go, so he hasn't really had, and he did the first practice before we even got a team period, so I know he's been extremely frustrated with it. We love the guys so far, but hopefully he can have some better luck going forward here so he can get some reps out here.
Kyle, George said that Farrell's having a much better camp than last year, and he said that it's hard to sometimes learn this offense in 1 year. What are you seeing from Farrell in year 2?
I would totally agree. I think he's definitely a lot more confident just knowing what he's doing. I think and when you go through a whole year, you know how to prepare for it, to me, a different way. I think he came in at OTAs, prepared at a different level, and it's carried right over to training camp, and I think he's having a hell of a camp.
How generally did you feel about how the offense performed? It looked like it was pretty competitive.
Yeah, I liked it a little more at first. Didn't like it as much later. I thought we struggled a little bit in the move the ball periods. Didn't score in 2 minutes. So there's some ups and downs, but I didn't really like how we finished the day.
You did foreshadow last week that you wanted to get Carver Willis involved in the competition. How is that thing shaking out right now in left guard?
It's still a competition. No one's really completely made it easy on us yet. I still think we got a lot more time to go. Not a ton, but enough for guys to step up and do it. I think Carver, missing that time has made him a little bit behind the 8 ball on it. But it's good that he's gotten a full week in and hopefully has no setbacks. So we can make that opinion here in about 2 weeks.
Before practice, Harbaugh kind of said a lot of nice complimentary things about you and your program. Just from looking at his program from across the field, what stands out to you about Harbaugh?
Just how hard they work. I mean, you can tell. I liked how their whole team handled themselves. I mean, they weren't out here trying to cause anything. They were just out here to get to work, which usually starts with the head coach. Him being in San Francisco, there's a lot of guys in our building who speak really highly of him, and I got a lot of guys who used to work for me who now work for him who speak the same. So hung around him a number of times, but I feel like I know him even better than that.
Take a couple more guys.
Watch the offense, but how much has Mike McDaniel's presence been an influence on their offense?
I'm sure it's going to be a ton. Mike does a great job. What he does do is totally different when what they've always done in the past. I think it'll fit their personnel very well, and I think it'll be a real good thing for the quarterback.
Brock, what did you think of the day today? How you guys did?
Honestly, I don't think it was our best day. I feel like fundamentals and stuff were just a little off and whatnot. Obviously there was some good stuff, some stuff we need to work on, but I just feel like we could have came out with a little bit more chip on our shoulder. Offensively, I don't know how our defense did, but that's just overall thoughts.
What do you think Kalen Black is coming back from his injury? How's he added to the offense?
Yeah, I thought he looked good, hitting the hole and running hard. Like you could tell there's a different level of intensity when he touches the ball, and I'm excited to see what he does in live action too with breaking tackles, hitting the gaps and stuff like that. But I thought, from the jump, KB came out running pretty hard, so I was excited to see him back.
As part of the struggle, just having wide receivers that have been out of camp, back and forth from injury.
Yeah, that's sort of part of it. I feel like I've dealt with that before. But yeah, obviously you want to have the same guys out in the field and whatnot, getting your chemistry down. But I think we've done a good job though of the next guy being up and ready and going in, and it's not too big for them. So that's how I feel about it. I love all of our receivers and stuff. I know we've had some grinders of some practices, last couple days and stuff. I don't know if that had any effect or whatever on them today, but it was one day at practice, and they're going to bounce back, and we're all going to be good. So.
You had a pass deflected, I think intercepted and stuff, like a throwaway pass. You've only had maybe 1 or 2 interceptions all camp. Is that like something that you went into camp, I want to cut down on interceptions, or whatever happens happens?
My mindset is go in and try to execute every play. Obviously, you don't want to turn the ball over, but I just try to be efficient. Get into a habit of if it's not there, check the ball down, throw the ball away. I feel like I've done that at camp. Down there in the red zone, I don't know if I'm going to throw that ball in the game, but I wanted to try, putting a tight ball on to Luke, and it was good coverage on the backside by the safety, and he just poked his hand out and popped the ball up. So that's practice, but I think it's also good work to see if I can get that done or not. So, that's sort of just been my mindset for camp.
You guys are working through the options at left guard. What have your just early impressions of Carver been since he's kind of gotten more opportunity here lately?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job with coming in, and there's a lot within our offensive run scheme and everything. So as a young guy to come in and learn that quick, it's a challenge. And so I think he's been able to handle it pretty well, and I know he's going to keep getting better with more reps. But any guy that is in front of me, man, I'm going to have their back, and I know they're going to give it their all for me. So I'm going to keep believing in him, working with him, and I got a lot of trust in him.
Before practice, Jim Harbaugh told us that he really wanted to meet you. Did he end up meeting you?
I haven't met him yet. I might meet him after this, but yeah.
The defensive line over here had a good day. I know you haven't been able to see their practice, but what have they shown you throughout the practices with them?
Our defensive line? Man, I think, Coach Kerserek does a good job with just like their intensity, man. Like every play they're going to shoot their gaps, and you're going to feel them, and especially on the edges too. Like I really got to step up in the pocket, against our guys, and they do a good job getting around the edge, and also on the keepers and stuff. They're there in our face. Like you can just feel them every play, and it feels like they do a good job with rotating guys, and the next guy that comes in, they're going to bring it too. So I feel like that's obviously a huge part of a team, down in the trenches, man. If you have a good defensive line, you can go really far, and I believe we have that. So obviously we get Bosa back too. That's going to be good, and Michael Williams, so it's going to get even better.
Is Osa a guy you
Last
feel
one,
on the
guys.
interior?
Oh yeah, Osa is a baller. I think one of the more slept-on guys in the league. So I'm extremely excited that we have him, and every single play, like he's almost gonna sack me. It feels like so. He's done a great job all camp.
Fred, a little bit of a challenge game from the defensive backs today. What were they doing over there?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, when you're in the battle, right, what's exactly going on. You got to see the tape to really see what it looks like. But, anytime you get to go against another team, it's a great opportunity to see where you stand. And, I always look forward to joint practices for that reason, right? And so come out and be in a game-like setting against another opponent. So luckily it was a good test for us.
Osa seems to be getting a lot of pressure on the interior as well, that he definitely affected the pocket.
Yeah. Osa just seems like he just keeps getting better and better, right? I love the mindset, the tenacity, the physicality that he brings to the position and to our defense. We know how important it is to get pressure up front on the quarterback and in the run game. So I think Osa's just going to continue to get better as we keep going.
What kind of treatment do you have to do on your ankle as you get through camp here? Obviously, it doesn't look like it's bothering you, but just curious how that goes.
No, I mean, I can't tell you how thankful I am, honestly, of like just how it recovered, and I really don't have to think about it much. It doesn't require any extra after practice treatment or anything like that. I mean, God is amazing in that way that I feel back to myself again, and I don't have to constantly be like, oh man, my leg's throbbing or something. It's honestly just regular football soreness at this point, and but when you don't play for over half a season, your body feels pretty fresh, and you just get to go out there and fly around.
You don't swim still, do you?
No, the swimming got to get put on hold for a little bit. Right now it's all about just ball.
That was pretty helpful.
It was really helpful. Just the pumping the ankle when I was unable to walk, being able to get back in there and get the cardio in. I think that was a big reason for why I came back in the playoffs as quick as I did and as good a shape as I was. Without the ability to really run and get my cardio that way. So I think the pool helped a ton.
Since from the first start of training camp, has there been a change in emphasis with punch outs? When one of your ball carriers is carrying the ball, or even doing a joint practice like this?
For me, no. I'm always that's my emphasis every single play. Honestly, does every play have a punch out op? Not necessarily, but I'm going to try to find it. Where I can, and something that I've just. Me, over the years, I've just tried to practice it so much where it's not even a thought in my mind. It's just second nature at this point. And so, it's beyond the point of me trying to just get punch outs. It's like, how can I, be infectious to the rest of the team and have it on everybody's mind? And we talk about it, affecting the football in all different sorts of ways. But game on the line, got to have it moments, where we need to make a play. I try to definitely have it on my mind in those situations.
Yeah, and the reason I asked is because first or a couple weeks ago, or so, I'm going to say that's how Jordan was injured with a punch out that went awry.
That play specifically, I know there was like a clip that circulated with me and Jordan. That wasn't the play where he got hurt. It was just honestly just an unfortunate collision between Jordan and I when we didn't have pads on. It wasn't, me intentionally trying to go in and punch the ball out on him. It was just accidental.
Which of the young linebackers stood out to you in the game against the Titans?
All of them. I think everybody had good things and things to work on throughout that game. We had two backers get sacks in that game, which is you don't see that, you haven't seen that a lot from our group in the past. But to see young Larry get in there, get a sack, and then Tatum bulldoze a running back to get a sack. Doug did a lot of good things in that game as well. Wallow has been phenomenal all camp. He had a really good track tackle out in space. Nick Martin blowing people up, unreal. So there was a lot of guys that did a lot of good things. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but I liked what I saw from the group.
Fred, those young guys learn from you and Dre quite a bit. Do you find yourself trying to be a little bit more verbal in the meetings to try to kind of show them the way a little bit verbally?
Yeah, I speak up where I can, but, at the end of the day, I try to lead by example more so than just by words. I think words are cheap. I think every day you got to go out there with something to prove. It doesn't matter what I've done in this league or what Dre's done in this league. I think what makes us great is just our hunger for the game and wanting to prove ourselves every single day. And I think that feeds, the rest of the group. It's a hungry group, and KJ's done a phenomenal job as our linebacker coach, and Johnny obviously overseeing stuff as well. So we all still got a lot to improve on, and I'm looking forward to just continue to be at our best for week 1.